President-elect Joe Biden drops that elect from his title tomorrow when he takes the oath of office, but so does Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Harris will finally step into her role as not only the first woman vice president, but also as the first Black American and South Asian American to hold the office, too. And for more on how we can expect Kamala Harris to handle this role, let's bring in ABC News' Zohreen Shah. She covered Harris's run for president before she joined our team on the Biden campaign. So based on what you saw of candidate Kamala Harris, Zohreen, on the campaign trail, how do you expect her to approach this role as Vice President of the United States?
Hi, Terry. That's right. I covered her very closely for many months until the very end. You know, she has this phrase that she always likes to say, I may be the first, but I will not be the last. And in every single one of those roles that she's had, she's tried to open up opportunities to make people who hold those political roles, people who work underneath her, look like the demographics of this country. You know, I remember the pride that she had in making her presidential campaign one of the most diverse. She prided herself on having one of the most, the most number of women, the most number of diverse staffers. She's likely going to continue to open those doors for people because that is just something that's really important to her.
And every vice president has a specific policy role. So what kind of role do you foresee for Kamala Harris on that score in the Biden administration?
So she hasn't outlined any big ones yet, but I think she's going to do everything she can to support Joe Biden's agenda. And, remember, she is that tie-breaking vote in the Senate. That is a huge role in itself. But I can tell you what policy positions I remember that were important to her when she was running for president. Of course, it feels like a lifetime ago. It was over a year ago. But her first policy proposal back then was about increasing teacher pay. She wanted the average teacher in the U.S. to get a $13.5 thousand raise. And then her second and her third policy proposals when she was running for president were about tightening gun laws. And I think she's going to closely support whatever Joe Biden decides to do, but that just kind of gives you an idea for what she really cares deeply about.
For sure. And Zohreen, she had such an up and down candidacy. She was hot for a moment, and then she had that moment with Joe Biden and then kind of faded. So you've watched her rise from that low point back when she entered her own presidential campaign to becoming vice president. So what do you think that journey's taught her over the past year?
Up and down is the perfect way to describe it. I felt like I was on a roller coaster when I covered her. But I also felt like I was covering history the whole time. From just the very beginning, even when her poll numbers were so low, you really felt it. But you brought up an interesting moment. We talked about when her campaign ended. That was December 3rd. And I want to bring you back to that moment, actually. Her campaign had run out of cash. She had lost all support in the polls. She was running the low single digits. I remember standing in one of her Iowa events in a house party with a few dozen people. Meanwhile, Buttigieg and Warren had, a few thousand at their Iowa events. She was really rock bottom that moment, and she dropped out, and people were wondering if Tom Steyer was going to primary her and if she was done politically. Remember, this wasn't that long ago, and it's a huge signal for other women that you can be rock bottom in your career and then have the craziest bounce back. So many women get discouraged when they have those setbacks. She's just a reminder of what happens when you just brush that stuff on and you just keep moving on.
Great point. Great point, sir. And Tom Steyer was not going to beat her. Or she's going to beat her.
No, we are not talking about Tom Steyer right now.
Thanks very much.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.